It's 7:30 in the morning on Wednesday, September 6, 2023, and I just moved them to the next section in this the next cell in this section, which means I'm in cell 4. Yeah, cell 4 of the 4th section. This rotation started on August 25th. It's a 21-day rotation, so we'll be done on August 46th. No, let's see, 46 minus 31. That's September 15th is when we'll be done. So we have a few more days left. A week and a few days left. Anyway, the goatweed here is taller than the posts. I had to lift my arms up while reeling up the wire. That was a workout. Oh, look, here's a really old patty. This one is all dried out, but it didn't quite get treated. Same way as other patties. I guess there's not as many dung beetles here. This is a bit of wool shed off of a sheep. So let's go take a look at the cows. So last year, around this time, we got some grass growing here in this area that I identified as panic liverseed, which is a grass native to South Africa, and it was brought here because of its heat tolerance and drought tolerance, but I don't see any of it. It's all Bermuda grass now. Yeah, it's all Bermuda grass. So it's just thick Bermuda grass here. Not much goatweed to speak of. But this was like really deep in the panic liverseed, or at least what I thought was panic liverseed. So I'm just using an app to identify plants, and you know, that's not exactly the best way to identify plants, even though it says it's very certain it is something. Unless you've studied botany, specifically how to classify the plants, you won't be able to know for sure. But yeah, so last year around August 21st, I want to say, we got about 5 inches of rain, and that was followed by rain pretty much every week. And so by the time we got here in September, we had grass growing, really nice grass. The difference between then and now is this time around, we didn't really have a drought. It only got to D0, which is abnormally dry. Which in my mind, that shows up if it doesn't rain for like a month, because we're used to getting rain throughout the year. But the important thing to say is that my field always had green grass. There were sections that were brown. There were sections that had less grass than other sections, but we always had green grass. And I don't know to blame the goatweed for that, or to say despite the goatweed we had green grass. I'm of the belief that the weeds do more good than harm, that they have a role to play. And as I said in an earlier video, that to me the weeds are more like a scab, and you shouldn't pick at them. You know, you should let your body do the natural healing process when there's a wound. And the goatweed, almost universally, people say that it's caused by overgrazing. So this goatweed, provided I don't overgraze, should all just go away. Now, I could treat with chemicals. There's herbicides that will kill the goatweed. The problem is those herbicides do more than advertised. And by damaging the ecosystem and attacking certain plants, you're throwing everything out of balance. You know, nature has a balance. Nature has a way it wants to do things, and when you use a forceful hand like chemical herbicides, insecticides, pesticides, that balance is disrupted. Now, I'm not opposed to them being used at all. We certainly don't like bugs in our house, and so we have an insecticide guy that comes by and sprays our house, the perimeter and the inside. So I'm not absolutely opposed to insecticides. I'm just opposed to using insecticides in places where you want things to grow, you know, and be healthy. Obviously, we don't want things growing in our living room. So, that said, I am aware that there might be health consequences for living near pesticides, even the ones that are so-called safe. So anyway, so I'm not like ideologically opposed to using chemicals. I don't think chemicals are the right way to farm. So, yeah. That goatweed, it's like a sea, it's like an ocean of green. Woolly croton. And this is let's see, he'd be about almost 2 years old now. Come spring, he'll be 2 years old. Let's go see the other sheepies. Sheep! Sheep! Where are they? I saw them earlier, I think. Sheep! I was thinking this morning that when you're doing rotational grazing, it's not so much what you're going into as what you're leaving behind. And I think as long as you make sure you're leaving behind plenty of grass, your rotational grazing should be productive. But if you're grazing all the grass away down to the nibs, then there's nothing that can help you there. Yeah, I don't know where the sheep are. They might be out getting water or something. Anyway, so a lot's been written about when you should turn the cows into a pasture. There, I heard them. Sheep! A lot has been written about when you should turn your cows out into the pasture. But I think a more important measure would be when you should take them off. And if you leave behind enough grass, it can quickly restore. It'll trap the moisture in the air. Whatever rain you get is going to go down to the ground. It'll keep the soil in place. And you'll be that much ready. It'll be ready for munching on that much quicker. So they're over there. They're in the next pasture over. Sheep! Yeah. They're just doing their own thing. Sheep! Look at their heads pop up out of the goatweed. I see 3 of yous. Where's the 4th one? Cross the wire here. Sheep. So, yeah, the goatweed is not harming the soil whatsoever. I know that people talk about the goatweed using up the nutrition and the water that's in the soil, but I think it gives more than it takes. So, yeah, the grass here is super tall. It's almost as tall as the goatweed. Hey guys, sheep? Sheep? So my daughter says, don't go to the sheep, let the sheep come to you. Sheep? I want to learn how to pet the sheep. Sheep? You guys are out here just minding your own business. Now, I could set up a double wire. I don't know if it'd be effective, especially in this tall goatweed. And I have zero interest in moving the sheep. There's just so few of them. And they do an awfully good job of moving themselves. I'm told though that they like to bed down on the same spot, and I have seen a couple spots in my pasture where there's an abundance of sheep manure. But I'm not too concerned about it. So, all right, I'll leave you guys alone. I'll leave you viewers alone too. Have a great day. Take care and bye-bye.